non-conforming conformist with a soul that burns like fire, and I live for those instances that make you close your eyes and catch your breath in wonder. I tell complete strangers to remember to look up because I'm scared they'll forget about the stars, and I believe that children are walking paradoxes with lives that are too mysterious for us to understand because ours are filled with too many anecdotes and stories that are not necessarily interesting, but they serve to fill that awkward void. I'm a crescendo of white noise building and building, and I can feel myself exploding into one anticlimactic and the world covered in white and gray snow. That will be my mark on the world. Shreds of former poems blotting out the sun and falling like fortune cookie cuttings at the feet of those who need it most, because poetry sneaks up on you. I know, because poetry snuck up on me. I didn't expect to fall in love with words and empty space and timing and rhythm and wordplay. No, what I expected to do was fall in love with the guy sitting next to me, which is why I took the class in the first place. Poetry was dry and stale and flowery and boring, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I thought poetry was pretentious until I was 15, which is ironic because I can't do math. But suddenly it was real and true and open and honest and everything I couldn't be. Poetry was therapy and discovery and feelings and thoughts and magic and challenges and frustrations and everything in between that we forget to listen to because our lives are too filled up with those anecdotes and stories for us to listen. Suddenly I realized I could be a poet. I wanted to be a poet. I started drinking coffee not because I liked the taste, but it was because what poets did, and secretly because I liked the way it changes color. I needed my pen and paper, and every night was spent scribbling horrible, awful, terrible poems that I thought made me the next great American poet. Then I'd wake up the next morning and shake my head at the utter crap I'd come up with. Keep a line and lose a page, that's how it works. You see, poetry is like making a film, only there isn't any script or a camera, just the power of your voice in that infinite blackness, reaching out to create a spark in the void, lighting the forgotten movie house screens of our imagination, shifting the dust and sending the cobwebs flying up into the projector light like diamonds, which is why I always look up, because I think that kind of thing is beautiful. Poetry is what happened when my mind stopped swirling and cleared to create coherent verbal music. Part of poetry is knowing when to shut up. Or to not say anything at all. Leaving space, empty white space, so as to create a certain feeling or echo of what has been spoken. Speak to me for a minute and I'll tell you a story. Speak to my heart and I'll tell you my story, my hopes and dreams and fears and eccentricities. With nothing but a couple of wigs and a smile, I will change your life. Maybe not for the better, but oh, will you be changed? Or maybe you'll forget about me. It's been done before, just a face in the crowd underneath a bad haircut, nothing too remarkable. See, I've always been bad at the listening part. I'd rather talk forever than pause for a moment of reflection because I don't know if I'd like what I'd see. So I challenge you, like Helen at her wall, to find the beauty, seek adventure, and never ever forget to look up. Poetry is revelation. Poetry is inspiration. See, poetry became me.